Why do we try to control our spouse's behavior? Hey there, I'm Sharon Pope. I help strong and successful women who are in lonely and disconnected marriages get the confidence and clarity they need to know whether they can fix those struggles in their marriage or how to move forward without regret. If you like what you hear, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. So today we're talking about why we attempt to control our spouse's behavior. So one of my very favorite things to do in my coaching practice is at the very beginning of starting to work with a new client, we do a really deep dive so that I understand where they are. And then at the end of our work together, I go back and look at where were they and where are they now at the end of our work together. It's super fun, but this one I want to share with you because she had made a ton of progress and she had been a pretty controlling person for many, many years. So let's talk about it. So when I first started working with this particular client, she told me she felt hopeless, lost, and desperate about her marriage. Now, I'm going to give you some context for what was going on in their lives. Now, her husband ran a business, but I'm going to tell you something. This woman ran a household, okay? Her home was organized. She had 3 kids. They were all in multiple activities. They were all thriving. They all had nutritious meals. They had a loving household. She planned their whole social calendar for the family and for them as a couple. There was nothing this smart, high-functioning woman could not do. But she was struggling in her marriage, and she knew it. Now, when I first started working with her, she had some ideas about things that her husband should do or shouldn't do. And I'm going to read you some of these because these are her exact words. In our very first call together, here's some of the things she told me. Well, he should never sit down or fall asleep on the couch while someone is working or the family is still interacting. I feel resentful that he takes time for himself over us in order to work or exercise. My way usually works best and is most efficient, but he doesn't respect that. He can't remember previous conversations, and that tells me they're not important to him. He repeatedly does things differently than I've asked, and I've described multiple times, such as overpacking lunch boxes for the kids or packing the dishwasher incorrectly. Now, it sounds extreme, right? But we've all had thoughts like that. And those thoughts then led to a certain feeling about her marriage that was toxic to the relationship. She said, he's just another child that I have to parent. He won't man up. He won't step up. I have to do it all. Now, she took responsibility for being pretty consistently cranky or angry inside the relationship. But when we first started working together, I'm going to tell you, she for sure thought that if the relationship was going to change, her husband needed to change. So now, 10 weeks later, I was asking her about where she was at the end of this. And she said, you know, I don't actually want to control my husband anymore. I don't feel the need to control my husband. Because the deal was, she was trying to control his behavior because she didn't trust. She didn't trust that he would be there for her. And she didn't trust that he would do it as well as she would. Right? Because the only reason we ever want to control is because we don't trust. And so she said, I no longer have a need to control him. I actually think it's kind of cool, you know, the way that he and I approach aspects of our lives and our family very differently, and that there's no one right way. My way is just the way I do things, and it's not the right way, it's just the way I would do it. She even told me that before, several months ago, she felt like at the end of every day, all she wanted to do was pass out in bed at night. She was exhausted. And now, she said, I actually look forward to sitting down and having a cup of tea with my husband before I go to sleep. That's amazing. So here's what I want you to realize. First of all, we can't actually control another human being. And I don't think too many people would stand up and raise their hand and say, yep, I'm controlling. Like most people who do attempt to control wouldn't consider themselves controlling because we know enough intellectually to know, oh, we shouldn't do that. But the reality is we can't actually do that. We cannot control another human being. Can we influence them? Can we shame them into doing it our way? Like, we can try, but it's not helpful, and it's for sure toxic to the relationship. So the reason we attempt to control is because we're in fear. Think about that for a second. Every single time we go into control mode, it's because we're in fear. We are not safe. I can't trust. I can't trust they're going to be there for me. I can't trust they're going to do it well. I can't trust that they're going to take care of me the way that I need to be cared for. Whatever it is fear, and it's a lack of trust. And the thing that I want you to realize is that you can't be in the energy of fear, which is very tight, hence the need to control, and in the energy of love, which is freeing and open and lighter. You cannot be in both those places at the same time. They are opposite ends of the spectrum. So every time we go into fear inside of our relationships, we cannot simultaneously be in an energetic space of love. And that is one of the reasons why our relationships grow apart, become distant, and become resentful. Now, I am a big fan of Glennon Doyle, and one of the quotes from her latest book says, "We only control what we don't trust. Love is the opposite of control. Love demands trust." And I thought that is so perfect. So here's the deal. If you feel like you have tried to control too much in the relationship, or you feel like your partner is trying to control you, and either way, it's going to become toxic to the relationship, and you want to be able to make progress to unwind that, either to stop being the one that is willing to be controlled, right? Because if you're in a controlling relationship, there's one person that needs to control because they're in fear and they don't feel safe, but there's another person that's willing to be controlled. And it fits together like two puzzle pieces, right? So either of those, if you feel like you need to dial down the control because it's toxic to the relationship, or you feel like my husband or my partner is controlling of me and I don't want to be the one that is being controlled anymore, then I would love to explore if there's a fit for you and I to work together. There is a link in the notes underneath this video where you can fill out an application to schedule a complimentary truth and clarity session to see if there's a fit for us to work together, and if I can help you, I would love to be able to do that. If this was helpful for you, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to be notified every single time I post a new video, just click the red bell and you'll get a notification. Take care.